Okay, so you've just loaded into DayZ for the very first time and you're wondering what the hell to do. So as a new player, it can be very daunting. With no tutorial, no one to hold your hand, we're going to go through a few hints and tips, a few crafting strategies to get you started as a fresh player. So let's get straight into it. So we've just spawned on the beach. You notice down the bottom, we've got 3 items. We've got bandages, we've got a glow stick and a pear. So to either pair, just pop it into your hand or click it on the hotbar and hold the left mouse button down. Also, if it is night time, you can have your glow stick in your hand. If you click on this, you can switch it on and it'll illuminate light around you. Same with bandages. If you are cut, if you do get hit by infected or another player and you start bleeding, you need to use a bandage immediately. So let's head into the town and see what we can find. There is another player there. Tracksuit jacket, yeah, we'll put that on because it'll give it more insulation, and as you can see, we've got 15 inventory slots for that. Let's get into the police station. This is going to be a good place to find some decent loot. So there we go, we've got some fingerless gloves. Pop them on. They will keep your hands clean, so if you are cutting up any bodies, any animals or anything, your hands won't get bloody. So we can find a weapon in here. Oh, there you go, he's hit me, so I am bleeding now. So when you're fighting a zombie, you want to aim for the head. Takes them out a lot quicker. So we'll take the police cap, and we've got some pants there, which gives us 15 inventory. So we will take them, we'll transfer everything over. We've got the box of 9mm rounds, that's good. So this infected here is actually wearing a stab vest, which gives you decent protection. What you want to do when you kill this zombie is use your fists. You don't want to use any sharp objects because that can damage the vest. So we do want to get a drink for this well. It's better to get a water bottle if you do find one and fill it up. You can drink it a lot quicker and it saves you staying still at the well when you're just going to be an easy target for anyone else watching. And always check the zombies' bodies as well because they will have stuff on them. There you go, he's got a pepper. We'll take the pepper, a bit of food for us. So we'll go to the well, we'll have a drink. And we'll take the handcuffs. You can actually use the handcuffs to tie up people. Let's have a drink. I don't think there's anyone around. Oh. Okay, yeah, we've got some 9mm rounds. Just be careful when you are drinking at the well, because you are stationary. If anyone is watching you, you are a sitting target. That's why it's always better to find a water bottle. What we're going to do, we're just going to drink this until a little icon pops up on the bottom right to say we are full. And there is an apple on the floor, so you do get these apple trees and pear trees dotted around the map. And then the fruit will actually spawn in once you've been in the area for so long, so it's worth checking. Okay, so the little icons pops up in the bottom right. That's to say we are full. We've got some multivitamins pills. They will heal you if you've got a cold or anything like that. And you just take one of them and it will heal you. So we've got a bit of food. We're full on water. What we need to do now is find a sharp weapon, aka a knife, an axe, something like that. Okay, that should keep us going for a little bit. Oh, look at that. We've got a BK-12, so there we go. We've got our first big gun. So we've got a BK-12, which uses 12 gauge ammo. We're going to pop that into the hotbar at number 2. We have got 1 slug. So if you want to reload, you hold the gun in your hand. If you hold down the R button, it will reload any ammo that's in your inventory. And if you are fighting zombies, it's best to do it when they're on their own. I'll try and single them out one by one. If you are looking for food, a good source is the cars. So we have got a compass. So to use the compass, what you want to do is pop it into your hand. As you can see, the dial moves. So it'll tell you which way you're facing, which way is north. That's just an easier way of navigating the map. So always check these outhouses. These are a good source for finding ammo. There we go. We found an RJ mag there. We'll pick that up. Duct tape. So duct tape's good for repairing things. Or if you have a water bottle, you can craft a suppressed silencer. So if I've got anything that's damaged, so say we've got a damaged hat there, all we need to do is hold the duct tape in our hands, we just drag that over to combine, and it will come up with a prompt to say repair. So we just hold that down and that will repair anything with the duct tape. That is the same with sewing kits and leather sewing kits. Okay, so there you go. So as you can see, it was damaged, it is now worn. Just be mindful, the more damage your clothing is, the less protection you've got. Just a quick tip, if you do enter houses, make sure you shut the door behind you. That way, if anyone is following you, you'll hear them open the door. Okay, so my house going up again, and we've got a BK-43 there. So that is a double-barreled. So what I'll do, I'll probably change this for the BK-12. So if you want to unload your ammo, just hold the weapon that you want to unload in your hands, and you just press R key. There we go. And it will pop into your, if you've got space, it will go into your inventory. Just be careful when you're eating food. If it says rotten on it, it will make you ill. So I found a burlap sack. What I'm going to do is I will create a backpack out of there because we need a backpack, so you can actually make like a makeshift one. So if you do find these sacks and you haven't got a backpack, they're good to take with you. So what I want to do is hold the burlap sack, and I did find some rope, so I can actually combine that rope, and then it will come up with a prompt saying craft burlap courier bag. We just hold the button down and then we'll have ourselves a backpack. If you haven't got any rope, you can craft rope or combining 6x6 rags. And there we go, we've got a courier bag with 30 inventory slots. One thing I do want to find is a sharp tool. That's probably one of the most important items in the game. Because with the sharp tool, like a knife or an axe, you can actually open food, cut down trees, you can cut up clothes into rags, and it's going to be a lot more effective than using your fists on the infected. And there we go, he had a knife on him. I do need to bandage up. Let's just get in here first. So we found a sharp object, we've got our knife. We found some alcohol tincture. We've got some tracksuit pants there. So if we wanted to make some rags, we'll just hold the knife in our hand and it'll come up with a prompt, craft rags. So we have our rags now. If we hold them in our hand, it will give us a prompt in the bottom left, and you can craft some hand wrappings, head wrappings. Basically, it's makeshift clothing, and these also work as makeshift bandages, but just be careful of using these as bandages because you will need to disinfect them. If you do want to disinfect them, you will need to find some alcohol tincture. And all you got to do is drag that over to combine. It will come up with a prompt saying disinfect, and you disinfect the rag, and they'll be safe to use as bandages. I found some iodine tincture there. That works the same as the alcoholic tincture. You can disinfect rags, disinfect items. You can also wash your hands with it. So if you have a look on your backpack, you'll notice you've got a strap. You can add things onto this to free up some inventory space, such as a compass. Just drag and drop it onto there. As you can see, it's strapped onto my player. And you can also put other things on there, like a glow stick. So we found an apple, but what we need to do is, for infinite food source, you want to make a fishing rod. Okay, so now we've got 6 rags, and 6 rags, we can craft a rope. All we need now for a fishing rod is a stick. So you want to come over to these small trees with a sharp object in your hand till it comes up with a prompt, gather a long stick. Take that. We'll just go somewhere that's safe. So then with the rags, you just need to combine the 6x6 rags and it'll come up with craft rope. And just be mindful, it will drop on the floor, it won't go straight into your inventory. So with the long stick in our hand, we can drag the rope over and then we get the prompt saying craft improvised fishing rod. What we need now is some hooks. So we need to craft some small sticks. If you go to another one of these trees, we need to gather a long stick. With the stick in your hand, it will say in the bottom left, split. Just hold the button down, you'll split it into small sticks. And they'll easily fit into your backpack. So with a small stick, next you want to put that in your hand. You want to take your knife or your sharp object, drag that over to combine, and it will say craft improvised hook. You can make hooks out of bones from animals or other dead players, but this is probably the easiest way. So from that we've got 2 hooks. So with the fishing rod in our hand, all we've got to do is drag the hook over and that's attached. All we need now is some worms for some bait. So if you take your sharp object, if you just look at the floor, it will say dig up worms. Depending on what sort of item you're using, depends how fast it will dig up the worms. A shovel is probably best for the worms. So as I said earlier, the steak knife is now ruined, so I won't be able to use that. So if we put our fishing rod in our hand, we can drag the worm over and attach it. There we go, we have bait. So now we can do some fishing. Just be mindful of the rain also. So in the bottom left you can see this little water symbol there, that means we're soaking. And if you go over to your inventory, you actually hover over it, it'll tell you that we're soaked, drenched or damp. And if you are soaked, then that will reduce your stamina and it can also make you very ill. So what you want to do for fishing is find a nice little place on the coast. Any water source will do. You can do it in ponds, rivers, the sea. We want to hold our fishing rod in our hand and then we'll get the prompt to start fishing. Just be careful when you are fishing because you are sitting target for any other players. And what you want to do is keep your finger down on the button, and as soon as you feel a bite you need to release the button. We have a bite, we release the button and we should pull in a fish. Sometimes you don't always get a fish, sometimes you get random objects. We managed to pull in a mackerel. So let's pop that into our inventory. And then we need to go and cut it up. I will need to go find another knife or sharp object now. And what we want to do now is start a fire so we can cook our fish and we want to dry ourselves before we get ill. With a quick little tip, if you don't know where you are, usually in the towns they'll have a map here and it will tell you your exact location. And from there you can use the compass to navigate. Okay, to start a fire you need short sticks and you will need some kindling. That could be rags, paper, bark. All you got to do is hold the sticks in your hand. We'll place them on the fireplace. And then you need to add some kindling on there. It could be either one of these. So we've got some rags. We're going to pop the rags on there. And then you need something to start a fire. We have got matches here, but I'll show you how to make a hand drill kit. So for the hand drill kit, you will need bark off the trees also. So with your sharp object, you need to head over to one of these bigger trees and then just hold the button down to craft some bark. So to craft a hand drill kit, you place the bark in your hand, you drag the sticks over, and then you can either, they give you 2 options, craft a fireplace or a hand drill kit. We've already got a fireplace, so we want to craft a hand drill kit. So with a hand drill kit crafted, you want to pop that into your hand, walk over to the fireplace, then you need to ignite it. There we go. We have warmth. So as you can see in the bottom right, our temperature will start rising. And what you can do, if your clothes are soaked, you can take them off and just place them next to the fire. They'll dry quicker. Anything that is soaked or drenched, you can hold in your hand. And with it in your hand, you've got prompts in the bottom left to wring it out. We'll wring this out, this will make it damp, and then it'll dry quicker. So as you can see now, that is damp. We can pop that back on and it'll just dry when it's on our body. We could do the same with all the other clothes. Shoes you can't wring out, hats you can't wring out, and the same with the vest. So what I'll do, I'll just pop them by the fire just to dry them off. Okay, so now on to food. If you are struggling to find a knife, so we need to cut our fish up. If you run along the train tracks, a stone will spawn in. You have to be in the area within a couple of minutes. So it's worth running up and down the train track, and you will find one just sitting on the top there. So if we take that stone, what you're now looking for is a big rock to sharpen it, and then you'll have yourself a stone knife. So the stones you're looking for are these big rocks here. So with the stone in your hand, you'll come up with a prompt craft stone knife. There we go, you have a stone knife. And then what you want to do is grab your fish, you want to combine it with the stone knife, and it will come up with the prompt to gut and prepare. There we have it, we have 2 mackerel fillets that are ready to be cooked. You've made it back to the house, you've got your fire going again. All you've got to do is drag these onto the cooking spot and then wait for them to cook. Just keep an eye on them because they will burn if you leave them on there for too long. There we go, they're cooked. You'll know they're cooked because they start sizzling, so all you've got to do is take them off and wait for them to cool down. Do not eat them while they're hot, or else you will take damage. There you have it, there's more tips and tricks for new beginners to survive your first hour in DayZ. If you want me to cover anything else, let me know in the comments, or any veteran players watching this got any other hints and tips for new players, drop them in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.